Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some good old Stationeers. It's been a hot second since we've played it. It actually was going back into my rotation, but I guess the guys over at Rocket Station beat me to it because they've dropped a brand new update called the You Asked For It update. I think it's been a month since the last huge update. I don't know what they're bloody drinking in the water over there or down there in New Zealand now, because they are updating this game like crazy. Now, as people know, like, I'm not exactly super long-form, long-play channel. I've done a lot of Stationeers, and that's because I've got a soft spot for it. But like, if you're expecting like a 100-episode run, that just doesn't work because I'm not a Stationeers channel. But at the very least, I want to signal boost it because I love this game. It holds a very special part in my heart. And so at the very least, let's just go through the patch notes and cover off what's been added there. We'll play some today, of course, as well. But like I said, for the most part, if they keep patching and updating the game and overhauling it at this rate, you know, I'm almost reporting news at this point on this game. But that's all good and well because it's a great game, and I'm glad that the fandom has only grown over the years. So, the You Asked For It update. Apparently, the sort of the cornerstone of this is that they've been skulking in the Reddits and the Discords and sussing out what all the people are asking for the most. This is very much a fan service driven update. There's a lot in it. The sort of feature piece is this thing they're calling the Ogre, which is a horizontal like drilling machine. Basically, send it into a mountain and bloody watch it go. Seems really cool. I was never expecting this. Again, I don't actually hang out in the Reddit and all that very much, so I didn't realize this is something what people wanted. But it's where we had the Mark 1 mining rig, which was more of a vertical shaft drilling sort of thing. This is more for going straight ahead like a car into mountains. So we might look into trying to do that. That looks so cool. Beyond that, they've also got a. I'd pull up the patch notes, but they're not inside the launcher, I don't think. Well, actually, no, I say that, and then I see that there's a toggle changelog button. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Advanced tablet. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's not in here yet. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's good to know. I didn't realize it until the last second just then. Anyway, continuing on, they've got like a mining sort of det pack, sort of, I don't know if that replaces the existing explosive thing, but the whole idea is that you can blow a hole in the bloody ground and mine that way, which is actually pretty unreal. They've added reinforced windows that can handle a 1 MPa pressure differential. This is an absolute godsend. There was one of the puzzles, like, not easy mode, but like it was one of the puzzles we were trying to figure out on Venus if we could come up with some sort of skin layered window system to deal with the pressure differential and have each skin have a slightly different and regulated pressure. But hey, look, if they're just going to put in super bloody windows, I guess we'll use that. There's also shutters that you can put over the windows as well, which will have aesthetic reasons, but also I reckon could be functional, depending also on the, I guess, well, the resistance to things like storms and that sort of thing. I'd be curious to see how that comes out in the wash. They've added a shitload of stuff in the atmospherics sort of area, which is, you know, kind of daddy's favorite. Passive one-way valves, right? That sentence sounds good to me. Also, super high pressure pumps that can make you shift liquid and gas fast, like really fast. So they're just adding more and more tools. It's becoming way more like oxygen not included. There's electric pipe heaters, new insulated pipes, so I guess they're different somehow to the existing ones. There's also genetically engineered different sort of plants that have been added. They've referenced a thing called a Darga fern, which apparently turns CO2 into O2 really fast. And that's all they've really put in the patch note around that. So there might be other genetically engineered plants that we get to play with. They're the main sort of big points. It's a big update. It's really cool. It's good to be back. Like I said, I was planning on coming back anyway, but I can't help. I have to put it to the top of the list now, you know? So I guess we'll just jump in really quickly and sort of fire it up. Where are we going? Mars. I've sort of come to realize, as much as I enjoy the gimmick of Venus, Vulcan, Mimas Europa, even the moon's a good training ground, but as I've said, the fact that it doesn't have a resource is one renewable source of, well, income. It depends what you want to turn it into, but the fact that you don't have an infinitely renewable atmosphere kind of makes the moon a bit broken. At least if you're trying to set up a habitat. Whereas Mars, I think, is the best of all. Best of all. However, like Vulcan, I think we worked out there's H in the atmosphere of Vulcan, which makes infinite H, which no one else can do. But like, there's also an argument, as long as you set up a good sort of trade network, then you're good to go as well. So look, I figure a fresh start probably couldn't hurt. It's been a month since I've touched this game, and last time we touched it, we were kind of just doing a fresh start anyway. My rhythm is a little bit more reactionary at the moment, is probably the best way to say it. So if this does gain a bit of momentum, which to be honest, it usually does, Stationeers, a lot of people are here for the Stationeers on this channel. I know this. But there's a good chance I'll be banging out episodes quite quickly. If it is well received, you never know, we might have finally lost momentum on this game. But if it is well received, there's a good chance we're looking at almost daily episodes here. So let me know if you want to see that, because this time more than say in recent times, I'm open to that. Okay, I don't really like how this is. I guess we're just going to have to accept it. Let's maybe start with this little hill. Yeah. Now, as we've sort of discussed, I came up with my own sort of idiosyncratic bloody building concept. We should figure out where the sun is. Sun rises from there. This is something that I never think about. Okay, cool. Let's keep that in mind. Yeah, I want to build in little sort of 2x2s with a sort of surrounding corridor in a way. Let's just start getting the ball rolling. Something that we're going to want to do sooner than later. In fact, actually, we were playing with the airlock thing last time around, because I've never really given that much sort of credit, I suppose. But let's just start. Let's just start really basic. We'll get a 2x2 and we'll enclose it with... well, actually, there's probably no real need to put that under. We'll put it there. We'll just get a sealed 2x2 and focus on... let's say storage, because there are storms, and I think truly disassembling everything and getting it all packed up in here is probably the GO, right? And this is where I'd put a door. Like I said, we've gone through this. This is my, I stress on it. When you build bases, you, as an engineering leaning person or STEM leaning or whatever you want to be called, you will have your own idiosyncratic bloody behaviors as to how you build stuff as well. For me, it's this 2x2 with a door here on that sort of front left opening. That's what I've been playing with recently. You know, if you've followed the channel before, that I am kind of want to experiment. Let's swap these. The super fast pump immediately gets me excited. Anyone that's followed it knows that I really play with the idea of having some sort of renewable... hang on, let's do this. Let's rejig some of this stuff. The idea of having like a wind turbine sort of wind tunnel that is renewable or sustaining, or whatever you would like to call it. Cartridge. Let's put the atmospheric analyzer in there, because that's what I tend to use. We'll put that in there. Okay, that's better. We've got a bit more space now. Yeah. I think a 2x2 is a good place to sort of start. Just get it sealed up. Obviously, we're on the back of the spoilage sort of hatch as well. So we're probably going to want to make a food system sooner rather than later. But at least the way that we're building it, I could turn this into a greenhouse if I really needed to, right? Because we've recognized that this is sort of the door area. The sun goes across there. Yeah, I think that's probably the least obstructed way to start out. But yeah, it should just be a basic beginning. You never know, there might be people here that have never seen this before. There's always... This game has been really fascinating to sort of watch, because remember... Now, if you're only here because you watch Stationeers, that's all good and well. But remember, this channel and my whole job is looking at indie games and shouting them out. That's usually it. Some games like this, like Hard Space, they become cornerstones because people keep coming back for it, and I have an interest in the game. It's sort of like, you know, it's Swiss cheeses. It lines up, so I'm happy to cover it. Actually, I will say as well, I haven't really looked them up. I know Cows Are Evil is one, but there are some other YouTube channels out there that only do Stationeers, and they are slappers. They are infinitely smarter than me. I'm just some dickhead that likes this game, you know, and this like engineering puzzle goes brrr, you know, but I would absolutely suggest checking out some of those other channels. But what I was going to get at is I do just find it infinitely interesting that indie games rise and fall, or they even fluctuate, but this has had steady growth pretty much all the way through. It's been pretty crazy how it just hasn't really stopped. Is there a kit thing? I think there's like a wall kit nowadays. Oh, now we've got all these seeds, so at least they don't rot. That deals with the problem. The mushrooms rot, but I think that's intentional. I think that's to make fertilizer. Take kit tables, take kit locker. Here we go. Right. Right. So let's just do this. So that's a start towards getting everything in, you know? See how much crap we can jam in here. So getting power up and running is probably, well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's probably something I should prioritize now. Portable solar panel. We really should keep the portable solar panel with us. And keep a spare battery. Not the big one. That big one's not going to be a spare. Just generally speaking, as long as we've got that, we should be all right. And the tracker won't help so much, but let's just try not to wander away from base too much. Solar panel basic. We're going to need glass to go with that. We're probably going to need a... where is it? Well, we'll take that as well. What I want is the power control unit. No. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There it is there. Went all the way around. Yeah, solar panel into a power control unit is probably going to be the money. Where do we put that for the time being? Could probably just bung it on here. Yeah, because this wall is eventually going to get torn down as I expand my base out. I don't know, maybe even just internally, like there. Yeah, that might be the go. Just to have sort of a ramshackle little shelter going. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put them both there. And if we put them in parallel, they'll charge better. Because it will split draw. We'll do that for the moment. Put the big battery in there. We'll even put, well, I'll grab, there's another spare battery. I'll just put that in there for the moment. I think probably putting this here is the smart move. Let's just do it like that. Basic stuff. God, it's good to be playing this again. It actually feels like I've been away for a while. It's like coming home. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to taking a big bite out of this. Like I said, there is potential, as long as the interest is there. Especially this time around. You know, I won't go into how my channel works or anything like that, but this time around, I'm actually pretty keen to smash out a bunch of episodes. If the momentum's gone, then so be it. But there's also room for me to potentially do a bit of a stream to get a bit up to speed. That's something that we've kind of done in the past as well. Because a complaint that people have levied against my channel is that I stop-start this game a lot. But again, refer back to what I was saying at the beginning. That's what this channel is. This is a shout out for all the cool indie games in industry coming out. I'm trying to just sort of do my part. This is not a Stationeers channel. So it's a bit of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Don't get me wrong. Part of me would love to just make this a pure Stationeers channel, but sadly, I don't know if that's going to be the case. All right, that looks like we're good. We're laughing. We're drawing power. Maybe one day. Maybe one day when I'm filthy rich. Let's just make sure we'll put our battery in there. Well, at least we know it's working. The sun has obviously dropped down, so that's gonna not help. All right, let's go. Put the glass in there. Okay, so at least we got power set up, because that is one of the things you can see already. We're down 20% on our life support. So moving all this stuff in is probably, if we don't take it seriously, it is one of those things that it will become, you know, you'll blink and 7 days have gone by and the first storms hit you, because I'm pretty sure there's this little 7-day sort of buffer, right? So we best deal with this sooner than later. What else? We need to get some basic industry up and running. So we got to get our ability to smelt and craft going. We probably want to seal this room and get it at least airtight so that we can weather the storm. Though it's not the end of the world. You can't really jump around and do much in a storm. It's sort of brutal, but... And it can do damage. I don't know. Maybe... Might not be the end of the world having a open shelter. I haven't really thought about it. It's not like we're on Venus and we're dying from our exposure. But still, it's probably just good practice to try and... try and get the base airtight as soon as possible, right? Start getting things growing, start getting into that habit. It's also like, if we do have a regulated atmosphere, we will have we'll have less sort of strain on a lot of our gear, like life support, that sort of thing. Like if we had a regulated sort of temperature area in there, we probably wouldn't have to, what was I going to say? Yeah, it wouldn't drain on our batteries or anything like that. Not our life support batteries, at least. But we'll see. I don't know if we're going to have enough space for all of this. Or at least in my inventory. We're definitely going to need more lockers. Might make that the objective for the moment, right? Because there's our first sort of locker done. Maybe we want to get another locker up and running. So, so we're going to have to figure out, are we going to try and capture the gas from our smelting efforts straight away? And I'm not that worried, to be perfectly honest. But I guess the question is, do we put the smelting system in here? It's going to sort of clog up our thing. We are probably going to put a door on this. So what we might do is just build a little basic... I don't think we'll even need iron sheets. But iron frames for sure. Let's do that. We'll just build a little landing out here. Not too far away. We will need sheets, sorry, to fill that in. We'll just put it on... well, that's kind of... Yeah, that's fine. We'll just put it there, even if it's in the way a bit. No biggie. We'll just partially seal that. Alright. I guess we'll put this back here. Any of these... Arc furnace, there you go. That's exactly what we want. So I guess we'll just do that. That's fine. Run some power out the back end of this. Get our wire strippers. Just do some basic stuff here. So one of the first things we'll probably run out of is cables. So this is the first step towards setting that up. So we'll be able to smelt copper into there. And then we're probably going to want to build an auto lathe. And again, this ties into what we're doing at the moment with the setting up to make another locker auto lathe, which we could probably just plonk in the room, right? No biggie either way. Let's do that for the time being. Can we fit that without like clipping through the wall? I do forget. That looks pretty reasonable to me. Okay, we're going to need iron sheets. Cable coil. Plastic sheets. I'll tell you what, it helps to have all this stuff right here within arm's reach. Screwdriver. Look at that, and we're laughing. We're laughing already. So yeah, hit me up and let me know, because there's a good chance that you know, if people are still on board and still keen to get around bloody Scarlet blowing himself up in this game, then maybe we'll stream this to sort of get the base up to speed a little bit. I'm happy to do that. Okay, so that should be getting juice. Right, so our basic industry is now up and running. One of the first steps that we'll have to do is get an electronics printer, which is like this. It's the sister machine going up, and we have to build that out of there, so we'll have to do a bit of mining. Can we print a locker straight out of these things? I think so, right? Locker. And what's that going to take? Just a bunch of iron, so we're going to need some of that. Yeah, we could probably put lockers back to back, like as a sort of center thing. I don't know if we'd be able to squeeze down a corridor that had them on either side, though. That might be a little bit too squeezy. Not sure, though. Not sure. It's all a work in progress. So I really want to get some iron to be able to do this. Let's just plonk these in here. Might as well hook up a door. Where is it? I knew I brought the doors in. There we go. So if I wanted to make a sealed airlock, and like just really quickly, the idea is to have a 2x2 with a door here and a corridor totally sort of surrounding it. If I wanted to make an airlock, I would probably want to dedicate this area here, unless of course I wanted to dedicate a whole 2x2. So for the time being, I want to put a door there. It's not strictly going to be an airlock per se, but at least it's a door that I'll be able to seal and you know, when the storm comes, as it were. Unfortunately, we've gotten some idiot went and bloody put cable right through the center. So let's see how this goes. Glass door, composite door. Let's maybe do the glass door because I just know it's a little bit easier for access. That's right, you gotta run cable over the top. I mean, I'm not really excited about running those cables on top of each other. Maybe do. Can I actually run it down there? No. So as far as running it down a wall, that's not going to happen. Okay. So probably your best bet is like on this wall next to it. We're going to have enough cables. 16. We should be all right here. Unless we just want to run it through the bloody side of the wall there. Unfortunately, because I've used these big bloody blocks to seal it in, it's a bit tough to do that if it's not a wall. Because we don't have a ceiling going on over here. Maybe, yeah, you know what, we will just run it up and around. I know it's an embuggerance, but let's just do it that way. We've got enough cable for it, so it's not the end of the world. We'll just make more. Let's just do that. We can change that later if we need to. If we run out. Right. Jesus. Cutting it close, eh? We could scrap some more cable out of there, but that'll do. That'll do for the time being. That works. I know it's a huge piss around, but whatever. And that got us through till daytime, because now we probably want to get some iron, at least to make that locker, right? But copper's not going to go astray. Good to have a big chunk of bloody gold right next to the base. I can't say that's a bad thing. Here's some copper here, I think. We'll get a bit of this. See if we can get a stack. Or close to. Yeah, my love for this game, it's definitely there. It hasn't, well, I was going to say it hasn't waned. We've had moments over time where what is this? Is that like cobalt? It is. They've just changed the way it looks. But it's still there. It's still burning hard. And then they've got Icarus coming out, which, I don't know. Rocketworks developers. I know sometimes you watch my videos. What happened to Icarus being free to play? Don't get me wrong, I'll champion a game if I love it, for sure, but I'm not necessarily going to run interference. But I could have sworn Icarus was supposed to be a free to play game, and all of a sudden now it's riddled with not just by the standard, by deluxe, by all this sort of stuff. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, but that's a quick aside. Icarus has been my most anticipated game for quite some time, but I have that sort of made me go, what's going on there? But yeah, I love this game to absolute death. Let's just cook that tiny little bit first. Actually, no, we'll just cook the block. Should be right. Oh, well, I didn't actually switch them because I'm stupid. But yeah, I just wish I had more hours in the day to play this game. I can't afford to, you know, boohoo, poor me. I play video games for a living, sure, but like, it's not one of those things where I can just stream for 12 hours a day, whatever I bloody want, because you better believe, if that was a possibility, this might be on the top of the list, especially now with all the cool updates that have happened. So, yeah. Again, I know I'm being apologetic, but I feel for the people that are sort of craving more Stationeers content out there. But, I mean, like I said, there seems to have been a bunch of channels. I've been doing this on and off for years now, right? But there's been a bunch of channels that have sprung up in recent time, and these dudes are, like, I say neckbeard, but I say that with love, right? Because I can be a neckbeard about certain things, and these dudes are absolutely bloody doing some insane stuff with this game. And it's very impressive. Can I put... No, I can't put an ingot in there. We might as well cook this while we're at it. Okay, so we should be able to squeeze that in there. And that in there. And we can make locker. That tool back there. But yeah, as I said, if there is interest around this, I'm more than willing to pump out regular episodes. But we'll see. We'll see. Also, I'm always open to suggestions of games that are adjacent to this, like you know, Astroneer. I don't know if enough people give that a go because they look at it and see it as cutesy. Astroneer is in the same sentence as Stationeers for me, for sure. I know Space Engineers, that's interesting, but that definitely leans much more creative sandbox, building big spaceships and that sort of thing, than sort of a more survival bent. I will be curious how this goes, because while they've introduced all the food rotting and decay systems, which arguably could make this game more hardcore from a survival perspective, they're also just... It does feel like they're throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks now, which that's fine, it's early access, fill your boots. But something that I really traditionally love about this game is how easy it is to kill yourself and how brutal it is. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing, now, I don't really have a solution. This is just pie in the sky musing. But I would love to see if there was a way to make this game more hardcore, more survival. Like, if the development went more in that roguelike survival direction somehow. I don't know. You know, maybe you got to increase yields and all that so you can build up your base quicker and easier, but make it way more lethal and dangerous. And I know there's probably an argument saying, hey, well, you can just customize the game as you see fit. I recognize that for sure. But I guess what I'm sort of saying is, I don't know about you guys out there, right? Maybe you got into this because you wanted another Space Engineers, which is sort of like just engineering Minecraft, right? You're just designing cool things, but it's not necessarily about survival. Because to me, personally, what attracted to me to this in the beginning, in the old days, was how brutal survival this game is. That's what I actually loved about it, is that it's giving you some really complex systems to work with. And people have seen me blow myself up many different ways in this game. And it's not dramatic or anything like that. It just happens, and it's because you're an idiot and it's all over and you're dead. And yeah, I guess, you know, if you were to ask me what I would write in the Reddit forums, I wouldn't mind this game being more hardcore and more brutal. But we'll see, because like I said, the whole food system's been overhauled. There's been storms added, so yeah, they've added a lot of mechanics. But I guess maybe because I've played this game so much, I don't feel the squeeze quite as much. I'm not trying to flex and say I'm some veteran or anything, but I do remember the days where it took me 20 episodes to figure out how to grow bloody potatoes on the moon, whereas now it's kind of a bit of a cakewalk. So, but that's just sort of my little thoughts on the end. If people have made it this far, maybe you find that interesting. Like, again, I will stress, I'm not a full-time Stationeers YouTuber. You know, the idea of making 10,000 episodes is tempting, but not feasible. But we do find ourselves in a situation where maybe I can do something daily or every 2 days or something like that. And if you guys are interested, this is your opportunity to tell me to if you want to see this more in rotation. Anyway, that's enough from me. This update's cool. I'm glad to have at least signal boosted it. Like I said, if the popularity's not there, that's fine. I'm still gonna, every time they do their big updates, I'm still gonna signal boost that, because the more people that know about this game, the better, I think, because it's an absolute gem. Anyway, team, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.